Okay, so I am still trying to find a good spot in my room because I had to change a couple of things. So that's why the background keeps changing. I promise eventually you'll get the same thing. But for today, you get to see this half of my room, which is kind of exciting, kind of cool, kind of neat. I don't know. I kind of like it right now. But I am going to try and be a better a better content creator. Also, if you don't want to listen to me rambling, probably skip to 1:30. I'm going to try and wrap this up quickly, but it's just some preliminary information, so if you like to hear me ramble, maybe listen. I don't know. But I'm going to try and create a uploading schedule so that then you kind of know what you're expecting each day, and it's not like, oh, what am I going to get today, which I think was kind of fun, but it might be annoying to you, and you might only want to listen to like one book that I'm posting on my channel at a time, which is completely fine. But I'm going to try to, on Sundays, finish the Read to Me Grandma series. There's only 4 stories left, so that's not going to take that long. It'll take like a month with this posting schedule. So, and then Prodigy, I am going to read most likely every Wednesday, because on Wednesdays we wear pink, ha ha ha, Mean Girls reference. Anyway, something a little more lighthearted on the Wednesdays, and then the rest of the days just do a chapter of The Lake every day. That's probably going to be offset afterwards when we're done with that. So everything's going to change in 4 weeks. So I really apologize. But since today is Sunday, we are going to be reading a Read to Me Grandma story. Today's is The Lion King. The sun rose over the African plain just as it had done every morning since the beginning of time. But this morning was special. Across the vast Pride lands, herds of animals journeyed to Pride Rock to celebrate the birth of King Mufasa and Queen Sarib's son. Rafiki, the wise old baboon, carried the lion cub to the edge of the rock and held him up high. Zebras, antelopes, giraffes, and elephants all knelt before their new prince, Simba. But one animal, Mufasa's brother, Scar, was too angry to celebrate. If Simba had not been born, Scar would have been the next in line to be king. He was determined to be king somehow. When Simba grew a little older, Mufasa led him back to the top of Pride Rock. Simba, look, said Mufasa, as the sun edged over the horizon. Everything the light touches is part of our kingdom. A king's time as a ruler rises and falls like the sun. One day the sun will set on my time here and rise with you as the new king. And this will all be mine? Wow, said Simba, looking around. But what about that shadowy place? That is beyond our borders, mourned Mufasa. You must never go there, Simba. Simba was in awe of the land. He knew he'd make a great king one day. And there's the picture of the light touching the horizon. Just then Zazu, the king's helper, arrived with the morning report. Sire, he said to Mufasa, hyenas have crossed into the Pride lands. This was business that needed his attention, so Mufasa sent Simba home and swiftly ran after the dark shapes in the distance. Simba saw Scar sunning himself on a rock. Hey, Uncle Scar, Simba cried. He was still excited after his talk with Mufasa. My dad just showed me the whole kingdom, and I'm going to rule it all. Simba's words gave Scar an idea. Maybe he could trick the cub into going to the dangerous place. Did your father show you what's beyond the border? Scar asked Simba. No, said Simba. He said I can't go there. He's absolutely right, Scar replied, grinning slyly. Only the bravest of lions go there. An elephant graveyard is no place for a young prince. An elephant what? Said Simba. Wow. Simba remembered his father's warning. But wouldn't Dad be proud of such a brave cub? Of course he would, thought Simba. So he decided to go, and he asked his friend Nala to join him. When Simba's mother saw the 2 cubs going off to play, she sent Zazu along to keep an eye on them. But Simba and Nala scampered across the plain so fast that soon Zazu was trailing behind. Happy to be free of Zazu, Simba leapt towards Nala. Playfully, she flipped Simba onto his back. They continued to wrestle until the two cubs tumbled down a hill and landed with a thud. They were startled to find a huge elephant skull right next to them. "Let's check it out," said Simba, but before they had a chance, Zazu caught up and scolded them. Suddenly, 3 hyenas popped out of the skull. Flashing their sharp teeth, the hyenas raced after the cubs and trapped them inside the bones of an elephant's rib cage. Then, out of nowhere, a giant paw smacked the hyenas and sent them flying onto a pile of bones. The paw belonged to Mufasa. "If you ever come near my son again," warned the mighty lion without finishing his threat. Mufasa sent Nala and Zazu home so he could talk to Simba alone. "Being brave doesn't mean you go looking for trouble," Mufasa told his mischievous cub. Overhead, bright stars began to dot the evening sky. "We'll always be together, right?" Simba asked his father. "Simba, let me tell you what my father told me," Mufasa replied. He gestured towards the sky as he began to speak. "Look at the stars. The great kings of the past look down on us from those stars. They will always be there to guide you, and so will I." Oh no. Oh God, no. Mufasa was such a good, is such a good dad. I just ruined the whole story for you. Scar's plan to get rid of Simba had failed, but he had another idea. The next day, Scar said to Simba, "Your father has a surprise for you." Scar led the cub down a steep gorge where a herd of wildebeest was stampeding. Simba clung fearfully to a branch to escape the dangerous hooves. Suddenly, Mufasa appeared and snatched his son away to safety. As Mufasa tried to climb up the gorge, the rocky wall started to crumble. Mufasa reached out to his brother, but instead of helping him, Scar let the mighty king fall. Mufasa was gone. "Run away, Simba, and never return," yelled Scar. Simba ran, and Scar sent the hyenas to chase him. With Mufasa gone and the belief that Simba would be gone too, Scar went to Pride Rock to take over the kingdom. But Simba was alive. The hyenas had been too scared to follow him through some thorns. Exhausted, Simba fell asleep. When he awoke, he saw a friendly meerkat named Timon and a fun-loving warthog named Pumbaa. With nowhere else to go, Simba went home with them. And there's poor little Simba, trying not to die. And here's the best characters in the entire movie. Their song, by far my favorite. Still such a good song. Still holds up. In the company of his new friends, Simba grew to be a young lion. One night, while they gazed at the stars, Simba said, "Someone once told me that the great kings of the past are up there watching over us." Timon and Pumbaa laughed. "Who told you a crazy thing like that?" Timon said. Simba, thinking of his father, was silent. "That's so sad." The next day, Simba heard a call for help. Pumbaa was caught beneath the trunk of a fallen tree, and Timon was trying to protect him from a hungry young lioness. To Simba's surprise, the lioness was Nala. "Everyone thinks you're dead," Nala says. "But you're alive. That means you're the king." Nala told Simba that Scar had let the hyenas take over the Pride Lands. Everything was destroyed. There was no food and no water. "Simba, if you don't do something soon, everyone will starve," Nala pleaded. But Simba refused. He liked having no responsibilities. "You're not the Simba I remember," Nala said sadly as Simba walked away. There's their fun adventures. And there's Nala attacking. Why am I trying to call him Simpson? Simba, oh my lord. Oh my lord. Oh my lord. That night, while the others slept, Simba gazed up at the twinkling sky. "I won't go back," he said. "It won't change anything." Suddenly, the wise baboon Rafiki appeared. "Who are you?" Simba asked. "The question is, who are you?" said Rafiki. When Simba didn't answer, Rafiki added, "I know your father." The old baboon led Simba to a clear, smooth pool and told him to look down. Simba stared at the pool, and his father's face appeared. "You see," said Rafiki, "he lives in you." Simba lifted his eyes and saw the image of his father in the stars. "Remember who you are, Simba," said his father's image. "You are my son and the one true king." Then his father was gone. Simba sat alone on a rock thinking. When Nala, Timon, and Pumbaa woke up the next morning, they looked all over for Simba. "You won't find him here," Rafiki told him. "The king has returned." The 3 friends hurried toward the Pride Lands. Ahead of them, Simba had already reached Pride Rock. The once beautiful homeland was now in ruins. Something needed to be done quickly. Simba looked for his mother and found her quarreling with Scar. "This is my kingdom," Simba roared. "Step down, Scar." Scar was shocked that his nephew was still alive. He didn't waste any time trying to keep Simba away. He quickly sent the hyenas after Simba. They chased Simba off Pride Rock and left him clinging to the edge. Gathering all his strength, Simba leaped toward his uncle. Simba chased Scar off Pride Rock. This time, Scar clung to the edge. Run away, and never return," Simba commanded Scar. But instead, Scar lunged at Simba. Simba had no choice but to hurl him off the cliff. This time, it was Scar who was gone. Under King Simba's rule, the Pride Lands flourished. The herds returned to graze, and food was plentiful once more. Everyone felt lucky to have Simba as their king. Soon, the animals gathered again to celebrate the birth of the king's daughter. Simba and Nala watched proudly as Rafiki held their cub high over Pride Rock. There were good times ahead for everyone in the land. So cute.